Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends new Kingpin Build-A-Figure Spider-Man Wave series of Spider-Man figures, Spider-Man with extra arms. And I know a lot of you are probably excited about this. It has extra arms, and we haven't had one of those in forever, maybe ever in the Marvel Legends, and I can't think of one that actually had extra arms other than the whole Man-Spider figure. So this is kind of a big deal. However, I have some bad news. There's some good news, but there's some bad news. So we're gonna go ahead and take him off the stand and take a closer look. Now before we get into the review, I do want to remind you guys I do have a whole playlist of Spider-Man figure reviews, and I have reviewed a ton of them. So if you're a Spider-Man fan or if you're new to the channel and want to see what you've missed, there's a whole bunch of videos there. There's a link right up in that corner, and I've got a whole bunch of videos of all kinds of other Marvel stuff too, so if you're into that, there's plenty to look at, so you might want to take a look at my playlists. And for those of you that are new or maybe haven't been around in a while, we do have a rating system now per many viewer requests. It was not my choice, it was the viewer's choice. I will be rating the figure on the aesthetic, the accessories, the articulation, and then an overall final rating at the end. Now, not everything is weighted equally, remember that, so some of the ratings may not end up adding up to the final rating. Keep that in mind, and most of the ratings are just a joke anyway. Alright, moving on to the height measurement. This guy stands roughly 6 inches, just above 6 inches, and you can see he's mostly straight up and down, so that's about where he is, and it's about 15.5 centimeters. You can convert that if you want to be more precise. Alright, so here we have it. 6-arm Spider-Man, good idea. Poor execution, really poor execution. I was actually very excited when I saw this, even once I saw it in hand before I looked at it too close, because I really like the light blue and the light red. I had some figures as a kid that matched this, so I had the full nostalgia engine going. The white eyes with the black lining, the thick black lining, right up my alley. Very excited about it. The arms, the skin tone arms down here are matte finished, so that's really appealing. It's a good color. There's lots of good things about this figure. However, they ruined it. You can judge for yourself if it's ruined for you, but they ruined it for me by not putting really any effort into many of the areas of the figure. There are some places, and we'll get to that, that are really nicely done. The finish on this guy, though, is just butts, because all of the red has, like, it's almost like they wanted to do a wash but then didn't, because there's no wash in any of the detail. As you can see, it's just completely plain old red, except for right here there's like some black stuff, so that leads me to think that it just got dirty, or the red paint wasn't very well executed, so it doesn't look good. Same thing for over here on the arms. It almost looks like they were going to do a wash, but I think it's just a lousy paint job. So that's very disappointing. And the spider logo, not well painted. The eye, mine has a bunch of schmutz on it, so that's not good. This arm's even worse than the other arm. It's just very poorly executed. There's not much to screw up back here, yet the spider logo still is not very well done. That's very disappointing. There's like no paint on this figure. There's almost none. There is some paint though on the arms down here, the human arms, and they actually did a good job. Each arm is sculpted uniquely. I was not expecting that. I figured they'd just make them all the same. So kudos for that. That's very nice. They are sculpted and painted fairly well, so I dig that. I like that a whole bunch. However, the sculpt for the abdomen here, because this is all new, the rest of the figure is, well, not the arms obviously, but the rest of the figure is the Amazing Spider-Man, which is the movie one. Why they chose to go that route, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I'm so happy that they went that route over this route, because, let me show you, that's ugly. That is super duper ugly. Now, you could make the argument that they should be embossed like they are here as opposed to recessed like they are here, and that's a fair argument, but that figure on the back just doesn't look good. This one does look better than that, to be fair. But it is a movie Spider-Man in a comic Spider-Man style, so I don't quite get what they're going for there. It's a little odd. So that's a little strange. No wash. The paint job's weird. The abdominal section has a really soft sculpt. Aesthetically, it's all over the place, so I'm going to give it 5 arms out of 10 for the aesthetics. It's just not a great aesthetic figure. On to the accessories. 0 arms out of 10. No accessories. On to the articulation. The head has a hinge and a ball peg, so it works as you would expect for the most part. It sits a little bit low on this guy. The new torso is a little stocky and just kind of weirdly shaped, and the way the head sits on it, it's a little low. It's not anywhere near terrible or anything like that, but it's noticeably low depending on how you pose it. But you do get a little bit of lean going back, a little bit of lean going forward. Of course, you get your full rotation. Any attitude? Yeah, no, not really. For the arms, I'll do the two colored arms and then the two tan arms separate. We have our ball hinge, of course, which works pretty well. You can go better than horizontal, so that's fine. No problems there. Full rotation, of course, when you're not bumping into this, though they are a little bit loose. This one, not so bad. This one is almost floppy. It's just shy of floppy. So hopefully you guys don't get one that is even looser than mine. That would be a bummer. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow works well. Look at those red pegs, very red. We do have a wrist swivel and a hinge and a whip hand for both sides. For the human arms, basically the exact same setup. We have a ball hinge, so that rotates around like that. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel, and hinge. Fists for all of the hands. So that works nicely. I don't mind the way they did the torso as far as the arms go. I don't think they could have done much better than that. But in here, there's just like no sculpt work at all. It's a very soft looking. Combined with the lack of paint, it makes the figure look very, very cheap. And that's like the tiniest little bit of paint would have saved this guy a significant degree. It's unfortunate. Back here, you can see it again. It's not a wash, it's just a bad red paint job or a terrible, terrible wash that they didn't really apply accurately, but I don't think that's what it is. Disappointing. For the hips, really nice. Really nice. If you want to make them do the splits, you can pretty much do that. Going forward and back, yeah, pretty good. Not too bad. Thigh swivel? Yep, it's there. Of course, it's fine. Double jointed knee is fine. We do get a boot swivel, which is very nicely hidden, so that's good. Ankle hinge goes all the way back. And as far forward as you would want, so that's awesome. And you get an almost perfect swivel hinge or ankle rocker, which is nice. So yeah, this figure is not devoid of quality. It has some good stuff. Like I said, the human arms are nicely done. I have no complaints there. The rest has a lot of problems, other than the articulation, because the arms and legs are the same as before, and that was a really solid figure. So it's just really the finish, I guess. The execution, it's a problem. So articulation-wise, I'm going to give it 8 arms out of 10. It is pretty well executed for the articulation. It's just that paint and some of the sculpt work that is just not up to par. So it's pretty disappointing. It's not altogether terrible. If you like what you see, then go for it. You now have all the information you need to make your decision. For me personally, I'm kind of in the middle of the road. Objectively, I'm gonna give this guy only 6 arms out of 10. It's just overall not that good of a deal as far as I'm concerned because of the finish, because of the aesthetic, lack of paint, lousy sculpting in some areas. I just can't commit to being happy that I bought the figure. But there are good things about it, so now you know, and knowing is 3/4 of the battle. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do have new videos up almost every single day. There are some spots where I don't get any up at all because I'm all out of stuff to review, but when I do have stuff to review, I get them up every day for you. Oh man, I'm gonna edit that out. No, I'm not. Anyway, lots of videos on my channel, thousands of them in fact, lots of playlists to go through, lots of different content, so make sure you check out all that good stuff, guys. And in the meantime, keep collecting.